Did you know this? Some homes look clean and pretty tidy at first glance, but there's still something about them that feels a little messy, a little unkempt. It all seems fine until you pause for a second. Then you notice the trash hasn't been taken out. The fridge handle is a little sticky, or there are bits of debris in the corners of the floor. It's not the kind of mess where stuff is everywhere. It's the tiny details that make the space feel like it hasn't really been cleaned. I used to overlook those things. But once I started noticing them and fixing them one by one, the whole house felt more put together. And honestly, when someone drops by, I don't feel like I need to scramble around cleaning last minute anymore. In this video, I'm sharing 20 of those sneaky little signs that we all tend to miss, but that quietly make our homes look messy. And the best part, most of them take less than 5 minutes to fix. The first sign that makes a home look secretly messy is a cluttered entryway, shoes, bags, and coats left all over the place. When you walk into a home, that front area sets the tone. It's the first thing anyone sees, and if it's messy, it gives the feeling that the whole house might be a bit out of order, even if everything else is clean. It's easy to overlook this space. We come home tired, kick off our shoes, drop our bags, hang jackets, wherever. It happens without thinking. But when those little piles add up, the entry starts to feel chaotic, like no one's really in control of the space. The good news: it's one of the easiest spots to fix. A small basket for shoes, a hook for bags, a habit of resetting the area once a day, that's all it takes. You don't need to deep clean or make it look perfect. Keeping the entry clear doesn't just make the house feel neater, it makes coming home feel less overwhelming. And it's a simple way to say, this space is mine and I'm taking care of it. By the way, if this kind of hidden clutter feels familiar, wait until the next video. We're going to look at why the mess builds up even when you're trying your best, and why some areas never seem to stay clean no matter what you do. But for now, let's get back to today's list and move on to the next subtle sign.
The second sign of a secretly messy home is bad smells like trash pets or musty air. Before anyone notices how your home looks, they notice how it smells. And if there's a strong odor when someone walks in, it instantly gives off the feeling that the place isn't really clean, even if everything looks tidy. The tricky part is, you might not smell it anymore. We get used to how our own homes smell. But someone visiting, they'll pick it up right away. You don't need fancy sprays or candles. Just deal with what's causing the smell. Take the trash out on time. Wipe down the bin. Wash dish towels often. Scoop the litter box. Open the windows now and then. Little things like that really help. A bad smell lingers. It sticks in people's minds. But a clean, neutral scent, even if your home isn't perfectly organized, makes it feel fresh and cared for. So if your house feels off and you can't quite tell why, this might be the first thing to check. One small fix can change the whole mood of your space. Number 3 is overflowing trash cans, or just not taking the trash out on time. It sounds obvious, but it happens more often than we think, especially when life gets busy. Trash builds up quickly, and once the can starts to overflow or smell, it changes how the whole room feels. Even if the rest of the space is clean, a full trash can, especially one with stuff sticking out, gives the impression that things aren't really under control. Sometimes we wait until it's completely packed before we take it out, or we forget the smaller bins in the bathroom or bedroom. But guests notice those details right away. The fix, super simple. Make it part of your evening routine to check the main bins. Take the trash out even if it's only 3/4 full. Wipe down the lid or the inside if it smells off. An empty or freshly lined trash can sends the message that the home is cared for even if there's still laundry on the couch. Number 4 is dirty dishes left in the sink. This one happens all the time, especially when we're busy. But if someone walks into your kitchen and sees a sink full of dishes, it instantly makes the whole space feel messy, even if the counters are clean. Even just a few plates or cups sitting there can make it look like the kitchen hasn't been cleaned yet. It doesn't mean your kitchen has to be spotless 24/7, that's not realistic. But if someone might come over, or if you want your space to feel a little more in order, the sink is a great place to start. If you don't have time to wash everything right away, just rinse the dishes and stack them neatly, or load them into the dishwasher so they're out of sight. The sink is one of the first things people notice. When it's empty and clean, the kitchen feels more under control. When it's full of dirty dishes, it makes the whole room feel unfinished or neglected. So if you're overwhelmed and don't know where to start, look at the sink. Cleaning it up is one small win that makes the whole kitchen feel calmer right away. Sign number 5 that quietly makes your home feel messy is leftover food in the sink. You might think the sink is clean once the dishes are gone, but if there are little bits of rice, soggy crumbs, or scraps clinging to the drain, it still looks and smells unfinished. It's easy to miss, especially when you're rushing through cleanup. But to anyone else, especially guests, it sends a message that the kitchen wasn't fully cleaned. And let's be honest, no one wants to wash their hands or fill a water bottle next to bits of last night's dinner floating in the sink. The fix is quick. After doing the dishes, take 10 seconds to clear out the scraps. If you use a drain catcher, rinse it. If not, just scoop out any leftover bits with a paper towel and rinse the area clean. It's one of those tiny details that most people skip, but once you start noticing it, you'll never not see it. And keeping that sink truly clear, it makes the whole kitchen feel a lot more put together. Sign number 6 is a dirty stovetop, especially when there's grease or food splatter left behind after cooking. You might not notice it right away. You finish making a meal, serve the food, sit down to eat, and by the time you're done, you're too tired to go back and clean the stove. But those little splashes of oil crumbs near the burners or bits of sauce dried onto the surface. They stay there, and they instantly make the kitchen feel messy, even if everything else is in place. It's one of those spots people notice without realizing they're noticing it, especially when the light hits just right and the grease shines back at them. You don't need to deep clean every time you cook. Just a quick wipe down with a warm, soapy cloth right after cooking while the stovetop is still a little warm makes it way easier to stay on top of. And if you forget, that's okay. Doing it the next morning still helps. The stovetop is a main zone in the kitchen. Keeping it clean even loosely sends a strong signal that the space is cared for without having to go overboard. Sign number 7 is a messy microwave, especially when there are old food splatters stuck inside. It's easy to forget. The microwave door stays closed most of the time, and unless you're heating something up, you might not even notice what's going on in there. But if someone opens it to warm up coffee, help themselves to leftovers, or even just take a peek and sees dried food splashed across the walls or stuck on the glass tray, it instantly gives the impression that things haven't been cleaned in a while. And honestly, it doesn't take much. One bowl of soup, one uncovered plate, and now you've got tomato spots hardened in every corner. The good news: it takes less than 5 minutes to clean. Just put a cup of water in a bowl, microwave it for a few minutes to loosen the gunk, then wipe it all down with a cloth. No scrubbing needed if you catch it early. It's one of those hidden spots that most people forget, but when it's clean, it makes the whole kitchen feel more cared for. And when it's not, it quietly adds to that sense of this space hasn't been handled. So even if you're short on time, give the microwave a quick check once in a while. The next sign on our list is sticky or greasy surfaces like fridge handles, cabinet doors, or countertops. These are spots we touch all the time without realizing how dirty they get. Greasy fingerprint smudges food residue. It builds up fast, especially in busy kitchens. You might not see it at first, but once the light catches it or someone else touches it, it's obvious. And even if everything else in the room is clean, a sticky handle or oily surface can make the whole kitchen feel grimy. The good news is this one's easy to stay on top of. Keep a cloth or some cleaning wipes handy, and just wipe down those high-touch areas once in a while, especially after cooking. No deep cleaning needed, just quick attention now and then. It's a small detail, but it makes a difference. Clean handles and surfaces make a kitchen feel cared for without having to do much at all. Another sign that gives off a messy vibe is when small appliances are visibly dirty, like the air fryer kettle or coffee maker. These are things that sit out on the counter every single day. We use them all the time, but it's easy to forget they need cleaning too. Grease splatters on the air, fryer water stains on the kettle, coffee drips down the machine. They don't seem like a big deal at first, but when those marks stick around for days or weeks, they start to make the whole kitchen feel a little neglected. And because these items are out in the open, people see them right away, even if they're not trying to. You don't need to scrub them every day. Just a quick wipe with a cloth or sponge once a week is usually enough. And if one of them hasn't been cleaned in a while, take 5 minutes to give it a reset. It feels good to have it done, and the kitchen instantly looks better. It's one of those small, satisfying tasks that helps your space feel more pulled together without adding more chaos to your to-do list. The next sign to look out for is something small, but once you see it, you can't unsee it: bits of debris collecting in floor corners. We're talking about things like crumbs, dust balls, tiny scraps of paper, the stuff that settles in places you don't sweep every day. Under the table near the trash can beside the fridge, those little spots where dirt loves to hide. The rest of the floor might look fine, but when someone glances down and sees buildup in the corners, it quietly gives the feeling that cleaning has been halfway done. And honestly, it happens to everyone, especially in homes with kids or pets, or just a busy routine. You don't need to mop or vacuum every corner daily. But every few days, take a quick look and swipe those areas with a handheld vacuum broom or even a damp cloth. It takes less than 2 minutes and makes the room feel more polished right away. Another sign that makes a home feel less put together is an unmade bed, especially if your bedroom door is open. You might think it's just the bedroom, no one's going in there. But in real life, doors get left open. Family members walk past, friends come over, and even if they don't step inside, just a quick glance at a messy bed can shift how the whole home feels. It's not about having a perfectly styled bed with 10 pillows, but a blanket thrown in a heap or sheets halfway off the mattress gives off that rushed, chaotic energy, like the morning started in a panic and never fully recovered. The good news: making the bed doesn't need to be a big production. Straighten the blanket, fluff the pillows a little. That's it. 2 minutes max. Let's move on to the next sign. One more thing people notice often without meaning to is a mirror covered in water spots or fingerprints. It could be the bathroom mirror, the one above your dresser, or a hallway piece you barely think about. But if it's smudged, streaky, or dotted with toothpaste splatter, it quietly makes the space feel a little unclean. Mirrors reflect light and mess. Even if the room itself is tidy, a dirty mirror can pull focus in the worst way. The fix is quick. You don't need fancy glass cleaner. A damp cloth or a bit of diluted vinegar works just fine. One wipe and the whole area instantly looks brighter. It's one of those small chores we forget until it gets really obvious. But if you start checking your mirrors once a week, it becomes easy to stay ahead of it. Clean mirrors won't make your house look spotless, but dirty ones, they'll always draw attention, and not in a good way. Let's move to a spot most guests don't usually see, but when they do, it matters: under the sink. You know that area with all the cleaning bottles, sprays, maybe some sponges and trash bags? If those bottles are leaking sticky or covered in old soap residue, it gives off the feeling that the mess is being hidden, not handled. This comes up more than you'd expect. A guest might open the cabinet to toss something away or grab extra soap, and suddenly they're face to face with half-dried puddles of cleaner and bottles stuck to the shelf. It doesn't take much to clean it up. Give the bottles a quick wipe with a damp cloth toss, anything empty or cracked, and put down a tray or mat underneath to catch future drips. It's a small out-of-sight area, but keeping it clean helps you feel more in control of the space. And when someone does see it, it won't leave a bad impression.
Think of it like this. If the place where you store your cleaning supplies looks messy, it makes the whole house feel a little less maintained even if everything else looks fine.
The next sign is one most people don't talk about, but it's hard to ignore once you notice dirt and stains around the base of the toilet. Not the seat, not the inside of the bowl, but the floor area right where the toilet connects to the ground. It's a spot that easily collects dust, hair, and grime. And because it's low down and not in your direct line of sight, it's easy to forget. But if someone uses your bathroom and glances down, and most people do, a dirty toilet base makes the whole room feel like it hasn't really been cleaned. The fix is quick. Grab a cleaning cloth or a disinfecting wipe and go around that bottom edge during your usual bathroom routine. It takes less than a minute, but makes a big difference. This isn't about deep cleaning, just not letting obvious dirt sit in a place people notice when they're literally sitting down. Another often overlooked sign is dust building up on ceiling fans and air vents. It's not something we see every day because, let's be honest, how often do we look up? But when someone is lying on the couch sitting under a fan or just glancing around the room, dusty blades and vents stand out more than we think. Thick dust on a fan makes it feel like the house hasn't been cleaned in a while, even if everything else is spotless. And vents with dust stuck in the slats. They give off that stale air feeling even if the room is fresh. The truth is, these spots are easy to forget, but they're also quick to take care of. Use a duster with an extendable handle or even a microfiber cloth wrapped around a broom, no ladder needed most of the time. Just a few passes and it's done. You don't have to do it every week. But giving your fans and vents a wipe every couple of weeks keeps dust from piling up and makes the room feel lighter, cleaner, and more cared for. Sometimes it's not the big messes, it's the quiet layer of dust we forget to check. Next on the list, dusty windows or curtains that look stained or worn. These aren't always things we clean often, but they affect how a room feels, especially when natural light is coming in. Dusty windowsills, fingerprints on the glass or curtains with old watermarks, or fading can quietly make a space feel tired and neglected. You might not notice it day to day, especially if the curtains are light-colored or the windows are rarely opened. But when sunlight hits just right, every spot and speck of dust shows up. The fix doesn't have to be complicated. A quick wipe down of the windowsills and glass once a week, and tossing curtains in the wash every now and then, or even vacuuming them with a soft brush attachment can make a big difference. Clean windows let more light in. Clean curtains frame the space instead of dragging it down. These aren't deep cleaning tasks, they're just simple ways to keep your home looking fresh without needing to do more. Another sign that can make a home feel cluttered even if everything else is clean is messy cords and tangled outlets. Extension cords running across the floor, power strips overloaded with chargers or cables bunched up behind the TV. They're not dirty, but they do create visual noise. It makes the space look unfinished, like things were set up in a rush and never really managed. Most of us don't even notice this kind of clutter because we're so used to it. But it's one of those things guests pick up on quickly, especially if cords are trailing near walkways or hanging off counters. You don't have to hide every single wire, but grouping them neatly using cord clips or ties and tucking away anything you don't use daily can really clean up the look of a room. When cords are everywhere, the space feels chaotic. But when they're managed even just a little, it helps the whole area feel calmer and more intentional. The next sign, marks and fingerprints on the walls, especially in spots where hands always touch. Think about the area near light switches, door frames, or the wall next to the dining table.
If you've got kids, it might be lower down where tiny hands leave smudges, snack stains, or mystery streaks you didn't even know were there. These marks build up slowly, so you might not notice them right away. But to someone visiting your home, they're a clear sign that the space hasn't been wiped down in a while. The good news is you don't need to repaint or scrub the entire wall. A gentle sponge, some diluted dish soap, or a magic eraser works wonders, especially on high traffic spots. Even just doing a few areas at a time makes a big difference. Clean walls aren't something people compliment, but dirty ones, they stand out. It's one of those little touches that makes your home feel more cared for without spending a ton of time or effort. Another sign that quietly gives away a messy home even when it looks clean is pet hair on furniture rugs or soft surfaces. If you have dogs or cats, you already know the hair gets everywhere. On the couch, dining chairs throw pillows, and especially on dark clothes. It's normal, but when it's not kept in check, it makes the space feel like it hasn't been cleaned even if everything else is in place. You might not see it anymore because you're used to it, but guests do, especially if they stand up from your sofa and find themselves covered in fur. The solution doesn't have to be a full vacuum every day. A lint roller near the living room, a small handheld vacuum, or even one of those rubber pet hairbrushes can make it quick and easy to clean up high traffic spots. It's not about getting rid of every strand. Just keeping the most visible areas in check makes a big difference and helps your home feel more welcoming whether you have pets or not. And finally, one last sign that your home might feel messier than it really is: a cluttered, dirty fridge or freezer. Most guests don't open your fridge, but you do several times a day. And if every time you reach in you're pushing past old leftovers, wiping a sticky shelf, or wondering what that mystery bag in the back used to be, it adds up. And if a guest does happen to see inside when you're grabbing drinks, serving dessert, or hosting dinner, a chaotic fridge instantly leaves a bad impression. No matter how clean your counters are, a messy fridge can make the whole kitchen feel less fresh. You don't have to organize it like a magazine. Just throw out expired items once a week. Wipe spills when they happen. Group things in clear bins if that helps. Even 5 minutes of clearing space can change the whole feel. It's not about perfection, it's about function and freshness. A clean fridge tells you that someone's paying attention, and that feeling carries through the whole home. And that's it for today. 20 small signs that can quietly make a home feel messy, even when everything seems under control. The point here isn't to add more pressure. It's to help you notice the little things that actually make a difference, the spots that are easy to fix but often ignored. You don't have to tackle all of them at once. Just pick one or two that stood out to you and start there. Bit by bit, your space will feel more calm, more cared for, and most importantly, more yours. In the next video, we're going to talk about something that hits even deeper: the hidden reasons why keeping your home clean feels so hard and how the mess seems to build up out of nowhere even when you're trying. If you've ever wondered why you can't stay ahead of the clutter, that one's for you. If this video helped you feel a little more in control, go ahead and share it with someone who might relate, and subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.